Um, okay, so Brandy, we'll start with you. You said, I don't know if it's a niche or a hub, word of mouth problem, but I'm doubting whether anyone is interested in my offer because nobody's biting and I don't know how to solve it. Okay, let's start with that. Great question. Am I sound okay? Am I oriented properly? Okay. Okay, so the question is, right, I've got an offer. I'm putting it out there. Nobody's biting. Nobody seems interested. So what's wrong? I imagine, Brandy, this isn't just you. But Brandy, where are you zooming in from, by the way?
I'm in Olympia, Washington. I apologize. My kiddo had a half day, so I'm driving to pick him up, so I won't be able to
Okay,
look at the screen.
that's all right. It's all good. So, okay. Imagine a relatable situation to everyone. So I'm gonna go through this, Brandy, and there'll be a recording that comes out at some point on YouTube. So you'll be able to watch that. But for everyone else, take notes. Uh, because there are steps to figuring this out. Okay. And so the very first thing we want to look at, there are these three roles of marketing. And uh anything you ever do in marketing from this day forward and everything you've ever done, these three have been there. And there are these three in this order. So it starts with this. Are you getting attention of enough of the right people? Yeah, this is number one. Are you getting the attention of enough of the right people? And that's a significant question. Sometimes that's all it comes down to is numbers, you know. Sometimes what it comes down to is you're just not reaching folks. Not you're reaching 30 people and then wondering, well, God, why is nobody biting? Well, it's not even a statistical sample size, you know, to decide. Number two, you've got to filter. And filtering means there has to be stuff in your marketing that helps people discern if this is a fit for them or not. Because you could reach a million people, but if you don't have the filtering stuff set up properly, then people aren't going to know whether it's a fit or not. And then, oh, right. And then there's lowering the risk of them taking the first step because sometimes you're reaching enough people. You've got the marketing set up so that people really know, yeah, that's for me or it's not for me. But the nature of the work is such that the risk is too high for them to even take that first step. So, Brandy, do you have a sense of those three, which one it probably is?
I think it's probably the first.
You're just not reaching enough people.
Yeah, I
Why
think
do
that.
you, yeah,
uh,
why do you say that?
Um, Mostly because there's not a lot of engagement locally. When I reach out with some of those tactics, social media, there's not a lot of. It seems like I'm invisible, and then when I do any posts or any reels, like I'm working on the filtering piece in particular. I want to be very transparent about
Yeah.
what I offer and what I don't. And so, but it's just almost like there's just, I don't know, I'm just starting to doubt, do people even want it? Or maybe I'm just, it's too nichey for my region.
That could be. Okay. Right. So in terms of the reaching enough people, you know, there's something I call the inverse law of geography, which means it says that the broader the geographic range you're reaching, the narrower your niche is going to have to be. So if you are trying to reach people globally, I mean, I would just dare anyone to try to get too niched. But if you're in a small town, you have to niche broader because there's not enough people there. So there really is a geographic reality that's worth thinking about for everyone, worth considering. Now, in terms of reaching enough of the right people, well, I put it on social media and everybody's there, right? But how many people are seeing you? So I would say then, Brandy, the step for you is to really figure out the hubs thing. And if you go to marketingforhippies.com/steps and you scroll to the bottom, you'll find a bunch of free stuff on hubs. There's some paid things too, but it's a bunch of free stuff. And for everyone watching, you can check out my hub marketing webinar on my website. You can find it, but here's the very micro short course. Once we're clear about who we're trying to reach, which is rarely that clear, then we need to think, where am I going to find them? So Brandy, who are you trying to reach? What's your best sense of your niche right now?
Well, it's twofold. One was I was thinking burnout professionals who've lost meaning. And then I was like, actually, what I'm trying to do is more of the witchy type of folks who are burnout and need to connect with meaning. So it's kind of like two.
So they're witchy, but they've lost meaning?
No, you're right. So one is the burnout professionals who have lost meaning. So my offering is a type of dream work, right? So it's like the folks who are burnout and they've lost purpose and vitality, they can contact their dream material and get it. But then I was thinking the people who would be really into dream work are kind of the witchy new age folks anyway. But they're not necessarily burnout. And I don't know if they even have a need for my offering, but those would be the people, like the hubs I could think of is, new age places, witchy places, animist places, who would intuitively tune into dream work anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So it's really a niching question in a way. Is yeah, I don't hear a crystal clarity on the niche of who you're trying to reach. So I'd say that's the homework to do, is to dig in, like, yeah, who is this? Because those are two, of course, very different target markets, two very different sets of hubs. And those will be two very different offers. I don't think it's that the dream work for the witchy people can't work, but you're going to frame it, position it, talk about it differently.
Trying to do both at the same time, and that's
hard. It's not impossible. It's just, those are two very different groups. You just have two different business models, sales funnels, sales letters. You're doing two things at once, which is okay. It's just tough. It's just hard. That's all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thanks.